In Affinity 3.2, you can use Claude to create all kinds of scripts. The design here was created using a combination of two scripts. I will show you how to combine them, manipulate them, and all those kinds of things. Please check out my previous video on how to actually integrate Claude with Affinity. I'm not going to go through that in this video. So the first thing is, let's just go with nothing, because that's the start point. Completely new layers, all created using this script. And please check the previous video on the actual process for creating this script. It's in Claude, and here it is, just down here, random linear gradients. That's all it does, creates a layer. But it also creates hundreds of layers, which of course you could do manually, but does take a bit of time. This creates it virtually instantaneously. So let's just go and do it. Just simply click here. Random linear gradient. And again, explained, there is a quick video on this process. And I've also created a post where you can see the code. And if you want, you can bring it in, import it in, using Claude into your own scripts if you want to use it. Free for use. Okay, here is the panel. It's not the nicest looking panel, I would have to admit. One thing with Claude, it is a struggle to get a dialogue like this. It is, because it generates this number of layers again. It just seems to want to do that. I do not know why, but what we got is number of layers, and it creates as many layers as you want. You can put 300. So 300 layers, all with gradients, and you can set the number of stops. Now, you might not want lots and lots of random stops. So you might want between, say, 30 or 40. So I'm just going to go with 40. So this will create gradients with stops between a number of 5 and 40. So it could be like 38, 37, etc. That's a lot of stops. You don't have to do it that high. You may prefer something like 10 stops. There's also a random stop feature, and with this means it positions the location. So the location might be at 28, 27, 43, etc. Or if it's not, it'll be uniform. Up to you whether you want uniform or not. And I'm just going to go with this, and I'm going to go for 0 to 100. I want it across the whole thing, but you could narrow the band if you want. Also, you can randomize the midpoints. I'm not going to do that, but that creates a blurriness or sharpness to the stops. And also you can set up a random opacity. And that's really useful for creating various effects, especially if you use layer effects with the gradients you create, because you'll then see ripples in that design. I'm not going to go with that here, but that option is here. So I've added all this into this script and simply click OK. And you can see now what it does. It creates this. Now you've got here lots and lots of layers. Now it might not create as many layers as you want. It might create, I assume it's like 200, 300, whatever. And I'm just going to go down there. It doesn't actually say, does it? How many? 300 objects. Yes, I created 300. It does create 300. You know what? I've never checked. I always assumed that it was what I said, 300. But you shouldn't always assume. But there it is, 300. And you can see they're all named differently. Gradient, layer, 14. And it tells you, I think, the number of stops that it actually adds. So it could be 15, 25, etc. Okay, what you can then do is select all these layers. They're all gradient layers. You can see them there. If you want to, you can select them individually and then simply go here. You've got the swatches panel, and you can add them to your swatches. So let's just go here to gradients, and you can see I have been doing that. Here's some of the gradients. Very easy. You create a gradient, you think, oh, you know what, that one looks great. Just click. When you've got it selected, make sure you've got the move tool here, and then just click this add to the swatches. And you can find all these panels in window and general and things like scripts there, layers and swatches. Okay, so you've got this. Now, I created an earlier script And this early script was a layer transformation one. Now, I think this is the best approach with Claude. You do not want to, well, maybe you do. You could create a massive, massive script that does everything, but it will be focused on that one particular thing, perhaps. So you might do that. But in here, at least I can now use this script with lots of different things, and that's what I want to do. Layer transformation. And this will take whatever's selected, and these are all selected now. And again, I haven't checked this. I assume it does it correctly. It does processes them all. It says it does. Assume the script works. And what it does, it then applies scale. So let's just click it. That's all you need to do with the script. Just click there. And you see you've got this panel. Now, I've made a bit more effort with this. I really struggled with it, but it did eventually do it where you put it in columns. Doesn't seem to think in columns. Also, it tries to put dividers everywhere, which fills up the dialogue with lots of dividers, which I really do not like. And you can see it does have a tendency to just go excessive with the text. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter a value -200 because it might, the origin point, and this is the origin point for the, obviously the center there, but you can make it somewhere else. But at the moment, obviously it's got here 0 and 0. But now this randomizes between this. Now I could have gone for maybe having a random checkbox. Checkbox is always good. You can see here. That would be good, but it doesn't matter for this. So 2000, and I'm going to enter 2000 there for the Y, and -200 for this one. Now, unfortunately, dialogues do not remember the previous instance of that dialogue. So you have to enter them again. Now, I haven't tried yet, and please put in the comments below if you know if it's possible. There is no preview option, so you can't just put this and then say, just try it out. You know, like a preview, just click it, and then you can see the result as you change the settings. Unfortunately, it's just one go, which is fine for a randomization. I'm not really that worried. You can always undo because it's undoable, the whole thing. And let's put a value, say 20. So I'll make it smaller, 20. And that's again scale on Y and X. And it will not lock them unless you go with the lock. So it'll force it to be 50-50. Otherwise, it will be 50-20. So you get sort of smaller, bigger, etc. And I'm going to go again. Let's go for 120. So make a couple of bigger there. Not that big. And also 360. I don't know if you can enter more than that. I guess it will still just work it out. But 0 to 360. And click OK. And it comes up with this panel. You don't have to have the panel. You could remove the panel from the code. This is just tells you it's done it. 300 layers. Now, weirdly, the other one doesn't, which is odd. Okay, so it's done it. And of course, you might be happy with the result. If not, you can always just simply select them all again and just apply it again, or simply undo. But I'm going to go with this. So you've got this design now. With this design, of course, now I can, let's just move this out of the way, swatches. Don't need that anymore. I can now, of course, group them. So right click and then group. And then I can rasterize. So I rasterize them all into a single layer. You can do it, of course, other ways as well. So you've got this design. Now with this, what you can then do is things like maybe use it as a pattern. So let's just here, move tool there. That layer is selected. For some weird reason, doesn't seem to be there. Let's just go up here to pixel, new pattern layer from selection. I don't know why it wasn't showing the bounding box there, but you've got the pattern there. And then you can move it around. Now, why has that disappeared? That is very strange. Seems to be a click there, enable transformation. Show. That is very strange. Maybe that's off screen. That's probably why it's off. Oh, I do not know. There it is. Cool. Right. Okay. That's the reason why. You can see that was well off the screen. I was thinking that's very strange. You normally see, of course, within it, the actual bounding you can see there. That was way off the screen, which is slightly initially confusing. I was thinking that's very strange, very odd. So you can now see you've got your pattern and you've got a very unusual circular-like result there. Now that's another thing I could do in the thing. I could maybe apply it with different sort of density options. That would be a good way of doing it. So you could control it so it makes it around like a frame, around the edge of the thing. You could quickly add that in, or maybe make it central, maybe make it so it distributes them maybe as a radial design. You could maybe make spokes or designs going external, outwards, or whatever. There's a number of options there. And then you can see now with this design, I can hold down the Alt Option key. It's always a favourite of mine. As you can see now, I can just duplicate it and fill that gap in between those two and select both patterns and right click and merge selected. So you've got this design, and of course you can then go with mirror and so on. Let's just click mirror there, and you've got mirrored design like that. Nice seamless design, which of course you can then manipulate, apply effects to that pattern design, and literally thousands of other things you could do with this design. Now I am going to be adding another script. There will be a video very shortly once I've gone through Claude, because with Claude, if you go for the free Claude, it goes to a certain point and then it stops. So it does make progress slow, but I'm going to create one that manipulates the gradient, because it'd be nice to combine gradients and change angles, etc. But that's for this afternoon. I'm just going to go through that and start a script for that thing as well. And then that will be useful. Now, unfortunately, the scripts in Affinity and Claude are limited. As far as I can see, there's not any option for brushstrokes. There's not much particularly for pattern designs. There's a bit of things, but not everything that you would love to see. Not all the effects are available. And there's a lot of other things that seem to be still missing. So not even things like there are adjustments, but there's some things you think, oh, why hasn't it got that? One thing I am going to be also looking at and working on, and that's probably another script very soon, will be vector and image trace. You can do that, and it'd be interesting to see what you can do with image trace done as a script. I'm certain there's like infinite amount of options with curves, creating curves, splitting them apart, manipulating the nodes, etc. And then maybe combining them, then applying the image trace again, and so on. You can see there's a lot of possibilities with scripts. So it's really worth checking out. So if you're not thinking about scripts, I think they're really worth looking into. Maybe come up with some ideas. Apparently there's also quite a bit of a community now of people creating scripts that hopefully will produce some quite interesting designs and effects within Affinity. It's something that Affinity, I think, has been lacking, so it's really good that they've added a scripting feature. It just would be nice that it was slightly more flexible, but it is, you can delete them and you can rename them. Can't edit them, which is a pity. At some point, hopefully, that will be available in the thing as well. You can edit the description at some point maybe, but it'd be nice to be able to actually edit the scripts as well. Then it becomes truly powerful as a tool. Or maybe duplicate the script as well. That will be another option that will be nice to see, as well as import and export of scripts. That's just lacking as well at this point. Hopefully, some point in the future. Please check out this video on layer transformations. Super useful for creating all kinds of amazing collages and other effects.